stock steerman and rolls it over on its back. Up he goes with a quick snap roll after the slow roll. There he goes, working the wind. John Mohr, a gentleman with over 30,000 hours of flight time and over 30 years experience flying everything that he could get his hands on from the time he first soloed an airplane at age 14. At age 17, John Mohr actually designed and built and flew his own helicopter. He's a third-generation pilot, and watch him as he takes this stock steerman through the skies here at Naval Air Station Oceana, taking us back to the days of the Barnstormer. After World War I, a pilot who survived the air war often bought a used Jenny trainer and wanted to keep flying. He'd fly over a town, do aerial stunts like you see John Mohr doing, and then land in a farmer's field and give rides for $5 or $10 a piece. Well, John Mohr is taking you back to those days as he inscribes 1/2 of a Cuban 8. That's 5/8 of a loop and a half a roll. In 1936, the Miami Air Races, the late Len Povey was too low at the top of a loop to complete it safely, so he did just what John Mohr is doing, and he was also training the Cuban Air Force pilots to fly. And at the end of the maneuver, at the end of the show, they asked what that maneuver was because nobody had ever seen it, and he said, Ocho Cubano, Cuban 8, and the name stuck. Well, watch here. At only 400 feet of altitude, John Mohr in the stock steerman does a beautiful roundhouse loop, gets the energy going and rolls into a beautiful barrel roll, coordinating throttle, elevator, ailerons, and rudder to start and stop at the same altitude and airspeed. Watch him as he flirts with the runway all the way through his routine. Right down on the deck, he gets some speed there at 130 miles an hour. He pulls up into the vertical, rolls the airplane a quarter roll to the left, pulls hard on the stick. That is called the inside Humpty Bump. A quarter roll to the right sets him up as aiming for show center. He's got some energy. Watch him go into a 4-point hesitation roll. Now this airplane, as I've said several times, is a stock steerman. It has not been modified in any way for air show use, which means it doesn't have an inverted fuel or oil system on it, which means if it gets upside down too long, the engine will quit. And you'll hear that a couple of times throughout the show. Now, you've seen a couple of rolls. You've seen a couple of Cuban 8s. You've seen a loop. You've seen a 4-point hesitation roll. Let's watch it as it goes into an 8-point hesitation roll. Stopping the airplane every 45 degrees. He'll hold it there upside down. Listen for the motor to cough a bit. There's the flaming restart. Every time he gets upside down too long, the airplane just doesn't want to keep running, and he's got just enough energy to get it upright, and you'll see that flaming restart several times throughout the show. The folks in our industry who watch him fly are amazed at how he handles a 3,000-pound airplane with only 220 horsepower. It is grossly underpowered compared to the other airplanes we're seeing here today, but John goes through a super slow roll here. Now watch him as he gets it upside down. Listen for the engine to sputter. There's another flaming restart with a super slow roll. Put your hands together for the best stock steerman pilot in the world, John Mohr from Minnesota. Now John's going to climb for a little bit of altitude because he needs all the altitude he can so he can dive toward the ground and get energy for all the maneuvers that he's doing. Diving now down toward the deck, only 50 feet above the ground. Up he goes. Now watch for the roll over on its back with another 4-point hesitation roll. Stopping it there, holding it inverted, holding it, now pulling hard with a 1/2 reverse Cuban 8 or a split S. He's going to do the same thing. He'll go up to 45, roll point rolls into half of a 4-point hesitation roll. He'll tilt his head back, look at the runway, get some altitude, pull hard on the stick, yanking it back right into his lap, diving toward the ground, through right down toward the ground, stopping it on only 40 feet above the ground. Now lower and lower he goes. He's got some energy. Up he goes. Watch for the quarter roll. Nope, he's going for the square loop this time. Square loop, square loop. Now he's going to pull 90 degrees and head straight toward the ground. He's only 300 or 400 feet above the ground. Let's see if he can do it. There's side 3. He's diving. He's close. He pulls hard. And there he levels it off. Let's hear it for John Mohr and that incredible square loop. He keeps it down close to the ground, working the energy. right in there close. When he has his speed, he'll get to the right-hand side of the aerobatic box and he will pull up, getting into about 3.5 times his normal body weight with a quarter roll on the up line. Watch him as he stops and pulls hard for another inside Humpty Bump reversal. Boy, oh boy, what a guy here. As he's done the square loop, he's got the quarter roll with a quarter roll on the down line. Now, once he goes into this now, setting up for the hammerhead stall turn. He runs out of airspeed, kicks hard on the left rudder pedal, turns it on a dime, and gives you 9 cents change. John, pull up. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. This is just like the barnstorming days. He'll get her turned around now. We've seen a roundhouse loop. We have seen him do the square loop. This time, he's going to set up to do the 8-sided loop. I believe we're going to see him do a stop sign in the sky. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of incredible energy management to do this one. Watch for the 45 degrees. There's 1, 2, 3, across the top, upside down, hanging from the stops for 4, 5, 45-degree pulls, 5 to 6, and 7, and right over the ground. There's 8. That's the stop sign in the sky, and a quick roll over on its back and a victory roll. Say, I love that. John Mohr doing beautifully. He's going to climb for some altitude, right, to get some speed and energy he needs for the next set of maneuvers. He's tightening the straps as he continues to roll the airplane upside down. The Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award given to John Mohr a few years ago at the International Council of Air Shows convention. The Bill Barber Award for Showmanship given by World Air Show News at Oshkosh's Air Venture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. His peers, especially the ones who've flown the Stearman, stop and watch every time this man takes off at an air show. Now he's going to set up for a maneuver, a tumbling maneuver that he created for his beautiful wife, Lynn. Known by some as the Lumshabak, this one's called the Lynn Shabak. From 1,000 feet above the ground, watch as John pulls up and gets this airplane tumbling. Snap rolls, now watch for the tumble. Whoa! And there he goes. Spinning down and diving for energy once again. Hold up in 1975 as he flies the Harried Pass in dedication of the Marine Corps Harrier. This is the Harried Pass as he flies the fuselage lower and lower, dragging that tail just about 3 feet above the ground and that wingtip just about the same distance above the ground, down in that area right in between the taxiway and the runway where there's a little dip. There you go. Really amazing stuff. Slow speed, so slow that you can almost run beside that airplane. John got the airplane, as I mentioned, back in 1975. Here he comes again. Watch him go sideways. Give him a wave, everybody, because he's waving at you now. Left hand is off the throttle, waving at your right hand on the stick. Got a lot of left stick and a lot of right rudder as he does his Harried Pass the opposite direction. Downwind, going a lot faster. Keeping the stock 220 horsepower engine on it, learning how to fly the wing, John can make it do things that other people wouldn't even dare do on a Stearman. But it's almost time for him to land. Now let's watch. He's got the wheels down. They don't change a little bit. And let's see, called the last pass here. Let's see if he's going to land or if it's what he's going to do with this thing as he's on his way in here. Looks like he's going to approach to land, but this is going to be a little bit different than your normal approach because the wheels are not in the right position to touch down on the runway. This is called the inverted approach to landing, but he's going to run out of airspeed and out of power, so he gets the engine going again. Now watch before he lands. Watch for the snap roll, a high-speed stall. Oh, my goodness. And then gets that left wing down, a lot of right rudder, and just before he touches down, he's going to drag it one more time across the line, flying that fuselage. Uh-oh. Gonna keep them do a little burnout. Again, this air show smoke is fine. No problem. Setting it down. Let's hear it. There's John Mohr climbing out of the cockpit up there. Give him a wave, everybody. Nice job, John. Larry Arkin, lead pilot of the Geico Sky Typers, is here. You gotta love watching this guy fly.
It's just terrific.